A few weeks ago, I asked you on Instagram, what do you wish you had known before coming to Athens? I received many answers, and thank you for that. And in today's video, I'm going to summarize all of this. Hey guys, welcome to Greece Explained. My name is Sebastian. I'm a tour guide here in Athens. And if you're coming in Athens and you'd like to hire me, here is my Instagram page. All right, first point, the famous changing of the guard on Syntagma Square. When is it exactly? Because if you Google it, half the websites will say it's on the hour 24/7, but then the other half will say it's on Sunday 11 a.m. And many of you were really lost with that, not knowing when to go. So the answer is both. Both are correct. Yes, it's true that the guard is changing on the hour 24/7, but on top of that, there's a special ceremony on Sundays at 11 a.m. It's special because instead of having just two soldiers replace the two previous ones, it's the entire guard that comes out accompanied by a marching band, and they will all stand in formation there while two of them replace the two previous ones. And then that part is the same as the regular guard change. Once that's done, they all leave and go back to the barracks, leaving behind the two guards who will stay there until the next guard change 1 hour later. And by the way, the band will play the Greek national anthem at the end of the ceremony before leaving, and I think that's pretty cool for tourists to see. So now you must be thinking, okay, so definitely let's go on Sunday then, because there's more to it. Well, there's one big con, and that's the crowd. Since it's only once a week, everyone is there, tourists and locals, and it gets insanely packed. The footage you're seeing here, that's in December, so just imagine what it looks like in high season. So what I recommend is, if you're visiting Athens during winter or shoulder season, and you happen to be in town on a Sunday, go for it. It's a very nice experience. But if you're here between June and September, I would skip it and instead go to one of the 167 other guard changes that happen on the hour. Yes, I did the math. And I would go to an evening guard change, 7, 8, 9 p.m., way less people and much cooler temperatures. Now, if you are going to go to the special guard change on Sunday, here's what you need to know. They leave the barracks located just behind the Parliament building at around 10:40 a.m. and the whole ceremony ends around 10 past 11. All right, second point of this video. Many of you were unsure whether you should visit Athens at the start or the end of your trip. Because yeah, nearly all of you will first have to land in Athens and from there fly or sail to the islands and then fly back to Athens before flying home, which means you'll be in Athens 2 times. Well, my opinion is that you should do Athens at the end of your stay. And there are 3 reasons for that. 1, you get to deal with the jet lag on the islands by the beach and not in busy, overheated Athens. 2, you're probably gonna buy a few souvenirs, and that's gonna be in Athens since everything is much cheaper there. So leaving that for the end of your trip makes more sense. You won't have to carry around your souvenirs all the time. And third reason, it is best practice not to book your return flight home on the same day that you're coming back from the islands to Athens, because delays are pretty common and you don't have to book another flight home after missing your connection. Now, just for you to know, I also had a few people who told me the opposite. They would have liked to do Athens at the start of the trip instead of the end. And their argument for that was, Athens is a big city, definitely not as relaxing as the islands. And so leaving it for the end means you're gonna stop feeling on holiday already a few days before actually going back home. So yeah, there you go. I gave you both sides. Now I'll let you decide what works best for you. The third point that many of you brought up was you wish you had stayed longer in Athens in order to do more day trips like Meteora, Delphi, Temple of Poseidon, Agistri, Aegina, all of that. So yeah, keep in mind, if you want to do these day trips, don't forget to schedule some extra days in Athens. As a rule of thumb, to see all the important landmarks in Athens, you need 2 days. So if you want to go on 2 day trips on top of that, you'll need to stay in Athens for 4 days. All right, next point. So many of you were shocked how slippery the old town of Athens is. Now, I had mentioned this very clearly in my video on visiting the Acropolis, yet so many of you seemed to have underestimated how bad it really was. So let me make it clear, it's bad. Pack the grippiest shoes you own and thank me later. Fifth point, can you drink tap water or not? Because it's pretty well known that you cannot drink tap water on the islands, But what about Athens? Well, yes, you can. The general rule in Greece is on the mainland, you can drink tap water. On the islands, bottled water only. Next point, the flea market is not a flea market. Many of you expect to find an actual flea market once in Athens, just everyone online says it's a must-do. But what we call a flea market is this street here, which is a souvenir shopping street, nothing too special. Sure, it looks a bit chaotic, pretty similar to the bazaars you'd find in Turkey, but don't expect an actual flea market. Next point, some people told me they wish they had known where to store their luggage for a night or two, usually because they're out of town doing the 2-day trip to Meteora and Delphi. So I'm going to leave down below a few links in case you need this. The next point concerns metro tickets. Many of you seem to be confused on when the validity of the ticket starts counting down. Is it when you buy the ticket or when you validate it for the first time? Well, it's when you validate it. So it's totally fine to buy a ticket a few days before you're actually going to use it. It won't expire as long as you don't scan it for the first time. All right, over here, a video on how to have unlimited data in Greece. And over here, all the best boat tours in Santorini. And there you go. That's it for today. Hope you liked it. See you in the next one. Bye.